Hey guys, welcome back. This is Amy of Nature Amy, and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. This is the Wellness Wednesday series I'm doing, and this is week 2. So last week, if you didn't catch it, I talked about what brought me to Trim Healthy Mama, how I found it 4.5 years ago, going on 5 years in June. And so I thought I would continue on that story and tell you kind of my Trim Healthy Mama testimony, at least the first part of it. There's been a lot over 4.5 years. So the first part of it happened right after the birth of my third child, my first daughter, Adame, and she's now 4.5. I was about 40 pounds, 50 pounds probably overweight, and I was trying to lose the baby weight, and I stumbled across Trim Healthy Mama. You can hear about that in the last story. And so I just jumped right in. I bought the book. It was the old book, which is over here somewhere. And so I bought this big hunkin' book. And before it came in, because it took a couple weeks to actually arrive, I started reading. Or I started the plan. Just jumped on in. I got files from the Trim Healthy Mama Facebook group. And they have the files tab, and you have a bunch of different approved files there. And so I looked them up and just started doing it. And I didn't have any special ingredients. You actually do not need special ingredients. So I lost 40 pounds initially, pretty quickly, within about 5 months. I lost 40 pounds. And then the last 10 pounds took a while to come off because I was nursing. But they did eventually come off too, and then gained them again when I had another baby. But I lost 40 pounds without buying any special ingredients. Now, they have a lot of great special ingredients. You can see them here behind me. And I love them all. They're awesome. But you absolutely do not need them to do the plan. And the sisters here, Pearl and Serene, they will tell you you don't need their ingredients. The only reason they started making their ingredients is because people like me and you, we started asking for them. We wanted things that we could use. And so they started coming up with some really great products, and they have really great products. I'm not selling them. I'm not actually an affiliate for them. And I used to be it. I'm not anymore. And so, yeah, they are an amazing company and really, really high quality products. So I absolutely endorse buying stuff from them if you can, but you don't need to. When I first started the plan, we were just out of college, just out of grad school, barely making ends meet, had no extra money, and we just had paid for a birth of a child from, Medi-Cal. So we really, had no money. 3 kids. And, I think we had $400 in our budget a month for 5 people to eat on. And so we were squeezing money out. So we didn't have money for any special ingredients, but I lost 40 pounds. So how was that possible? It's totally possible. And it's really because this plan is built around basic foods. So all you need to do is eat those basic foods and just separate them out into fuel types. So you eat, have a protein source and you eat it with a fat, and then that's an S meal. You have a protein source, you eat it with a good healthy carb, and that's an E meal. And it's as simple as that. And mix the two together and you've got a crossover. And that's good too, especially if you're nursing, which I was. And I actually lost more weight when I regularly incorporated crossovers. So that is important. So what does it look like? Even today, we don't use a lot of special ingredients. Like, I have them, and I probably spend, I buy a cartload of stuff off their website about every 3 months or so. Usually when they have a sale, I will buy certain ingredients from Trim Healthy Mama, and they're awesome. And I do that now, but I didn't then. And even today, we don't go through them very quickly at all. So I do love their sweeteners. I do prefer their sweeteners to any other. And those are what I buy there almost exclusively. And then a few other things that are just good. They have good prices for their stuff. So it's worth it if I'm going to be already making an order from them. So, So these are the different products that we used, or that I use now. But back in the day, what I did is I found a sweetener that was okay. I used Truvia at the time, and this is an old box. Sorry, I'm getting dinged on my phone. So I used Truvia, and that worked as a sweetener. It wasn't my favorite. I definitely prefer the Trim Healthy Mamas ones. But as far as just getting used to a sweetener, getting used to this taste of stevia, because actually, even though now I love stevia and I love stuff sweetened with stevia, at the time I didn't at all. And it just wasn't my thing. And so I remember saying, I don't know, I might be able to do this thing, but I don't like stevia. Like, ugh. But I found the brand of stevia makes a big difference. So Truvia is pretty good. I've heard that the Splenda Naturals, not Splenda, but Splenda Naturals is a good alternative as well. And it apparently tastes quite good, I've heard. So that's something you can just buy at your store. So there's a lot of different things you could just buy. So find a sweetener that works, and then just work stuff into what works for you. So for us, our regular meals that we would eat all the time are things like oatmeal and eggs and chicken and rice and salads. Those were just normal things. We had tacos a lot, and you could have them with corn tortillas, and they could be an e-meal if you don't put like cheese and sour cream on them. They'll be a nice e-meal if you just keep them lean. Or you can make them a crossover, or you can wrap them in lettuce, which is one of my favorite things to do. A taco and the lettuce wrap, excellent. With some cheese and sour cream on it, so good. So just make it work. So that's what we did. I took meals that we already ate, and I just tweaked them just a little bit to make them a little healthier. Use stevia, or put a couple of Truvia packets and things that called for sugar, and it totally worked. The one actually ingredient about 2 months in I bought was actually on Amazon. I went to Amazon and I got some glucomannan, and I just wanted something that I could easily use as like a cornstarch or something to thicken things up without having to use flour or something like that. I just needed something to thicken my sauces. And you can actually get xanthan gum at the store, and that works too. But I wanted to try glucomannan, and this cost like $10 off Amazon, and so after a couple months I was able to purchase that. But that was the one special ingredient I bought in that 40-pound period of about 5 months. So, and it was just off Amazon. And you can probably find it at health food stores, but I didn't. 4.5 years ago, it wasn't available at a health food store, but it probably is now. And let's see, what else? I had a list of different meals that we like to eat. Let's see. Oh, so one of my go-to things is going to, here in California, it's Winco. If you're on the West Coast, Winco is a great source. I think Aldi is a great source. Other places we don't have Aldi, but I've heard it's like Winco. So I think that's one of those places that is a great option. And they have, at least Winco has, I don't know about Aldi, but Winco has bulk bins. And in those bulk bins are a ton of special ingredients, and you can just buy just a little bit. So like I'll get almond flour, and I'll just get a couple cups of almond flour, and I will get a couple cups or 1 cup of coconut flour, and I'll get flax seeds, and I grind them up into flax meal, or you can get flax meal, but sometimes that goes rancid, so I like to buy the seeds and then grind it up myself. What else do I buy there? Oh, nutritional yeast I get at Winco. I get, cocoa powder and unsweetened coconut and tons of nuts. All those options are just there in the bulk bin, and it's so easy to eat healthy there, and you don't have to buy a lot, which is nice. So instead of going to like Costco and buying a huge bag of almond flour that would just totally blow my budget, I just couldn't afford that, but I could buy a little bit of almond flour and use it here and there in treats. Now, almond flour was out of my budget to use regularly, so I just bought like a cup of it, which cost a couple dollars, and then I would use a little bit sparingly in recipes. But if there was a recipe that called for like 2 cups of almond flour and, a bunch of other things that were on plan, but added up like crazy, I just didn't do it. So, there's things that you just can't always afford to do if you're on a tight budget eating Trim Healthy Mama. And that's okay. You can still absolutely be successful on this plan, even if you don't have a bunch of money. So, yeah, that's what I did. Now, about 5 months in, after I lost 40 pounds, I decided, Trim Healthy Mama had a sale, and I decided to buy, at that point, they didn't have too many sweeteners. They had what was called just then, which is called Sweet Blend. Now it's called Super Sweet Blend because they have a gentle sweet as well. So I bought this. I also bought a packet of stevia. I think I bought 2 bags of this. And that was my big purchase a couple months in, or about 5 months in, after I'd lost about 40 pounds. So I bought those, and those were awesome. And then I was able, my husband got a raise about 9 months or so. Yeah, about 9 months into my journey on Trim Healthy Mama. And so then I was like, ooh, yay, I can buy some more special ingredients. So he got a significant raise. And we bumped our grocery budget up, which was nice to not have to skimp on everything so much. And so it was nice. I've been able to buy more special ingredients now, able to splurge more on groceries than we used to, able to spend more on groceries, which is good because now we have 2 boys who are not just little boys anymore, but now they're eating a ton around the clock, and we've had to keep on increasing our grocery budget, and I'm sure it will only get worse as they become teenagers. But yeah, it's absolutely possible to eat on plan Trim Healthy Mama. So, just do it. If you don't have money for special ingredients, all you can afford is go to the library and get a book and eat stuff from the grocery store. Do it. It's so easy and doesn't require, to buy a bunch of fancy things. And yeah, that's my advice. So I hope it helps you on your journey like it has me, and I will talk to you all later. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't, and that would be awesome. I'd really appreciate that. And you can see more of these Wellness Wednesdays updates, which is all I've been able to do recently. So hopefully I've got a ton of video ideas. Hopefully I'll get time to do it. But, 4 kids and homeschooling, it doesn't always happen. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.